Hi guys, it's Mark from the rcgarage 68 in France for the Losi 5Ive, which is for me the real deal in 1/5 scale RTR from Losi. You see me this year test many kits from Losi or RTRs. I am really happy with the kits. I really love Losi since years and years and years. But with the RTRs is every time the same mistakes. Especially in brushless, most of the time the combo is not adapted to the weight from the vehicle. I don't like the new style light portray, the servo is weak, the Spectrum DX2 Eco who comes with is the cheapest radio system I ever seen. You can have some Chinese things with lipo in, with cool grips, who works so also good at this one, but is way too better to have in the hands and so stuff. And this one is the one which I can explain you why I'm not happy with Losi. When you see this is an amazing truck, a masterpiece of engineering of 5th scale. It's a Losi 2 made to a 1/5 scale. You have from the box out a super smooth and good working suspension. You have super material. You have really a tough truck with a super killing looks. And then you see it on the video from the super bar array. You have the bar array in the hand and you see that something is wrong by Losi. If they could do something so good in this one, why did they release the bar array with so bad shocks? Why did they release the Losi R8 with so bad tires? Why did they put out the Losi 3XLE with a big failure on suspension travel between the problem from the length from the CVD and the output shaft from the differential, because the CVD hits the back of the output shaft from the differential and you kill differential and CVDs because there's clearly something wrong in what they do here at the job. And this is why I'm not happy with Losi. Many from you complain on my Losi bar array review, oh no, you even haven't drive it. Guys, read the video's description. I have drive the Losi bar array. If the one I have on the video has still the protection on the top, it's because it's not mine. The Losi bar array could be a top truck if they do a better job on suspension and on the steering, but they did not. This one has not this problem. This one has a top steering, has a top suspension, and have I love it. I love it since Losi released this truck, and I will take you a closer look from this new version. This is the latest one. This is the 29cc engine with the LiPo battery and the receiver, and the new air filter is much better than the old one. First, when you unbox this beast, me and my buddy are waiting an hour before in front of this truck, pushing suspension and just admire it like two stupid guys. Oh, it's beautiful. But it's really so beautiful. When I see the photos and the videos, I don't in the first time like this new style body. I prefer the old one, but now I have it in the hand. It's really super because what's come out black on the video, on the photos, is matte dark gray, and with this orange the body has a really beautiful look. They are still the same tires, and the first version the tires are good, not the best but good enough. Has also good endurance, because this is an RTR, this is not a truck made for race. This is for fun, for the Sunday drivers, and these tires make a super job for this one. If you don't go on the street with this tire are undestroyable. These rims are heavier than other ones I have in 1/5 scale, but it's necessary because the truck has a heavy weight with this cage in the top, so if you not have enough weight down to the ground, you will have a problem. On many trucks have too heavy tires is a problem because you destroy the CVDs and the diffs output, but not on the Losi 5 because you have 7mm CVDs on this truck. I will show you this from the near view. So look at these beefy CVDs, and you have 5mm pins in the CVD. You have oversized bearing, you have super strong arms. These arms are much heavier, brighter and longer than the one from the DBXL. That's another thing I don't like by Losi. If they do such a good job on this one, why did they make the DBXL so bad? Why just not make this one shorter, make another cage on, and make from this one the DBXL. Also use this one to put the big tires on, a longer suspension travel, and make the MTXL from this one. That's my problem with Losi. They make super buggies, super truggies, a super 1/5 scale. This is a killer from a 1/5 scale for every other brands, but all other RTRs are really not so good at this one. For remove the cage, it's super easy. 2 pins in the front here and 2 pins in the back. 4 screws, 2 on each side under. Then you lift the front and go forward with the body. Then you have the body, and then this is a really heavy body. It's about 2 kilograms, but the cage is a super good job, and you need such a cage because of the weight from the truck. If you roll over, this cage will not be destroyed so fast. You have the mud flaps, you have super good protection from the back here. What's a weak point on many shortcuts here, you always destroy the rear fenders, and with this cage system you have not this problem. You have something to avoid too much debris to go in the truck, and you have a super good point. You have 4 metal parts here in the cage with the thread for the screws, so you don't rip the screws up from the plastic because it's threaded in the metal. You can have the parts from the cage and from the body separately. You have only the front, the top, or the 2 rear fenders. That's something Losi was the first to do on this big scale cars, and that's really super, because if you look at the price from a 1/5 scale body from a Happy Badger 5 SC, it's about $200. Here in France we are €200, that means $250 for a complete body who is really fast destroyed because it's no inner protection. This one has a super protection, and you can have the panel separately. Then underneath you have the base from the Losi 2.0 here. If you look at what's inside, it's exactly the same but put to 1/5 scale. The only thing I miss on this Losi is that they don't do an official brushless roller. I don't want brushless RTR because when I see all the mist they done with the motors and ESC on the RTRs, on the Losi DBXL, you have enough power, but it's a lipo killer. The bar array combo is this one from the Losi R8 in 6S. It's not. I'm not happy with this combo. So I hope that Losi will do an official conversion to brushless here with the same system. It means the motor here on the right. So you can put here 3 4S lipos to run this thing 12S because it's so heavy. But back to the nitro engine. Petrol engine, not nitro. This is a 29cc Changyang engine. I have used for long times Zenoa engine, and I can tell you a 26 Zenoa engine works better than a 26 Changyang engine. So I think that Losi can put here in this one a Genoa engine for this price. For such a top chassis we want a top motor, and the Genoa engine should be in this truck, and I think I prefer to give 200 bucks more to Losi and have a Genoa G32 motor in, which is the real deal for such big scale. I love everywhere CVD. I love the super shocks, the super suspension setting out of the box from this truck. The throttle and brake servo is okay. The steering servo is still a mess. This servo is too weak, and if you run the truck with the runtime you have with this big tank, you make one tank, it's okay, and the second tank you will see that the servo is slower and slower, and the turn radius is bigger and bigger and bigger because the servo begins to give up. That's a mess. Here you must have a real 40 kilo servo or a 60 kilo servo to have a real good steering with this weight. The chassis, because it's made of an 1/8 kilo buggy, is really super easy to access, everything to work on the truck. They put really good plastics on, but many guys who use these trucks years complain from the arms, because with the weight from the trucks, with the time the arms begin to make this form and leave it in so place. You can change it with alloy parts, it's not a problem. The truck is so heavy, a little bit alloy parts not make him really a problem to transport. Personally, I not like to put arms in alloy. When I put something alloy, I put the C-hubs and the hub carriers in alloy, but I like to keep the plastic arms on place, so if I hit something, if I have a big crash, the arms make the job to absorb the forces and to not destroy something on the cell from the car. The chassis is a masterpiece from this type from 1/5 scale, 70-75 alloy with it's nothing more to say. It's just a perfect truck. Mechanically, all you have to change is the motor. It's enough for a beginner. This motor has enough power to beginning to know how to work on the car, how to drive on the car. But after a few tanks, you need more power. I think for such a heavy car, you must have minimum 10 horsepower for have fun with the truck. And this is really not the case from this model. So, if you have a Losi 5Ive, please tell me your experience with the truck. Tell me what you like on the truck, what you not like on the truck. Tell me what upgrades are cool, what upgrades is better to do it. I don't know if I will use this motor, if I immediately change the motor to a G32. If I go immediately to brushless, you know I'm a big brushless fan. In all, I don't love on the petrol engine is the noise, that's all. The performance are not so good than on brushless system, but if you make a little bit adjustment and improvement on this motor, you can have some really cool performance. But I really not like the noise, and I really not like the smell from the fuel when I'm back driving at home. When I have this in the back from my truck, I don't like the smell. I don't like the smell here in my workshop. When I work on a fuel engine, I walk outside because I'm really not like this. But I have nothing against petrol engine or nitro engine. What's important is that all of you has fun with the RC you have. There is no bad RC, there is only RC which we want to improve, which we want to have some better thing on. We have RC who is right for you or use, and RC who are not on the right place for you using. Someone who wants to drive skate parks needs a monster truck made with plastic to absorb all hits. Someone who drive in big fields needs a 1/5 scale petrol engine. That's so. And another thing I have to complain about Losi these last years is the paper job they do. First, the design from the truck is really cheap. It feels like it's a design from a cheap how to say, I forget the word in English, sorry guys, but I'm really not happy with the explosive view or something. And in this one you have nothing. They just describe you how to put out the body, how to start the engine, how to stop the engine, how to use the radio system, and that's all. You have no part description and no exploded view, nothing. Clearly you can go on your computer to show this, but I don't like to work in my workshop here where I make some dust, I use oil, I use chemical things, I make all dirty, and in this case I don't like to have my PC on the side with the plane on the screen. So what I do in the end is to print it out. It's clear when you print it out this costs less to Losi, but I think for this price, for such a great and cool truck, they have to make us a real owner's manual with really detail, with really good designs from the exploded view, with the part list and all what's go in this. It's, how to say, it's not a shame, it's just bizarre, because you have a super top truck here. There's nothing to complain about the using from this truck. Only the steering servo is weak. The rest is all super good, engineered and made and improved for years. And then you become such a cheap radio system, such a cheap description from your car. It's just little adjustments to make to be top-notch. And I say it again, I will Losi to do better job on the R8, the barge array, the 3XL. I will Losi to improve the RTR, because Losi can be really in the top from RCRTRs, but they are not because of such things. It's boring for a beginner to have a truck and have so issue with, like on the 3XL, you bend the CVD, destroy the diffs, and there's no way to make something. You only can stop the suspension to travel so high, but in this case you don't need a monster truck. If you have the travel from a truggy, it's no more a monster truck. The Losi R8 is undrivable with the stock tires. You must do something yourself to put real tires on it. The Bahare has the weakest suspension I never see on a short cross. That's a shame from a suspension, and this is boring from such a brand as Losi when you see what they can do. This truck has even a better ground clearance than the DBXL, but the DBXL is made for more off-road than this one, but this one has a better suspension travel because he has longer arms, he has better suspension. So Losi, please wake up, make improvement on your RTRs fast, because there are many other brands who make every year adjustment on their RTR, even every 6 months, to make the customer happy. And by Losi happens years before something will be changed, like on the Losi XL monster truck. You make it 50 years the same wheel bar. You will not understand that your wheel bar on the 3XL is bullshit. I don't know what you're thinking, but stop to do this. Be faster, be in touch with your customer, because the job you done here is #1 in the world from this scale, but we want the same thing that you do on your buggies, on your truggies, on your 1/5 scale engine, on your RTRs for every cool little customer. So don't forget guys, I wait for your comments. Tell me what you like, what you not like, what you want to see, what improvement is absolutely not to be used on this car, because I know many manufacturers make option from this truck, but you cannot use every option. Some options are weaker than the stock ones, some options are not adjustable with other options, so I really need that you tell me your experience with the truck, because I know in America and Canada many of these trucks are on the road much more than here in Europe, and we need your experience. I love to hear every comments. I love to read every comments and use every tips and tricks you give me to test it and to make my own feeling on the truck with your experience. Thank you guys, have a nice day, see you soon, and no fear, you will see this truck run if no one buy it before me, because this is not my truck. This truck is for sale for a really cool price, but only for Europe, because if I send it to US it will be much too high for the price. Bye guys.